Hello, good evening, everybody. Okay, good evening, everyone. I hope you can hear me now. Good evening. How are we all doing today? Yes. Great, great. It promises to be very great tonight. Great. Okay, good evening, everyone. Welcome to today's masterclass on protocol and security code, the April edition. Today, we're going to be looking at something very important, a topic very important, a topic that has divided the protocol team, the security team, the personal assistant, and other aides of the principal. We're going to be paying attention to this topic. The topic is team. Team. T for tango, E for echo, A for alpha, and M for Mimshak. Team, Team. So, of course, in the world where we all live, it's been said it's been said that team means together everyone achieve more. Tonight, it's going to be a very interesting class, and I would want each and every one of us to pay attention and to contribute. So this class is not just going to be Mr. Demola talking alone. I want you and every one of us to get to your keyboard and you know um, put in comments. I'm going to ask questions. Then I always like my classes, to be very interactive. So tonight, yes, everyone have said team, business school, everywhere. Team, we're looking at team. Can someone put that for us? Team, Team. T for tango, E for echo, A for alpha, and M for mercury. Now we've said together, everyone achieve more. That is what every one of us, knows team to be. But for us as professionals in the security industry, for us as professionals in the protocol industry, for us as professionals in public relations industry, for us as professionals, as personal assistants, as an aide, to the principal, it is so important that we all know that quite all right, it is quite true. The truth is, yes, T stands for together, E stands for everyone, A stands for achieve, and M stands for more. Now, but beyond that, in our world of protocol, in our world of close protection, in our world of executive protection, in our world of public relations, in our world, of help team, to a principal or to an organization, then it is important we all pay attention to what exactly does team mean for us in the security industry. What exactly does team mean for us in the protocol industry? So come with me this evening as we look at what team stands for. So I'm going to be asking every one of us, in the class tonight, that what do you think T stands for us in the protocol security industry? What do you think T stands for? Anyone that knows, please put the answer in the comment section and I will read your name out and I'll tell everyone what you've written. What does T stands for those of us that are professionals in the protocol industry, in the security industry, in the help industry, in the public relations industry? What does team stands for? Who does? Who knows? Please put your comment up and put your comment up as we take this class tonight. What does team stands for? I'm still waiting. Someone says echo. Okay, someone says TE for echo. Okay. What does T stands for? If you do know, please kindly put in the what's it called? There's no sin in trying. Just try your best. Try, think through in our industry. What do you think T stands for? What do you think E stands for? What does A stand for? And what does M stands for? Together, everyone achieve more. That's what we've all known it to be in the business world and in the secular one. As a layman language, also, everyone knows team stands for together, everyone achieve more. But for us in the security industry, it means more than that. So I'm waiting for you. Type in what T is for you in our industry, what E is to you in our industry, what A there means in our industry, and what M means. So I'm waiting for you. 1, 2, okay, so I'm going to count from 10 down to 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Okay. Yeah, thank you for that. Akpofure Rema, T for Tango, E for Echo, A for Alpha, M for Mike. That is the regular in communication for us in close protection, for us in security. That's the regular. Now we are going beyond the regular. Now we are going beyond the norm. We're going beyond the norm, and we are looking at our industry holistically, and we are looking at it that what would T stands for those of us in our industry? What would E stands for in our industry? What would A stands for, and what will M stand for? Don't forget this Tango, Echo, Alpha, Mike. Some people created it, right? So and they have done a fantastic job. However, I haven't worked in this industry for a period of over 2 decades. There is more that TEAM stands for. There's more. There's more beyond together, everyone achieve more. Okay, I haven't waited for us. Okay, someone said, Philip Ayeni said, tact, empathy, active, management. Good. Sebofa says T stands for time, E there stands for excellence, action, A, action, and M there stands for memorable. Fantastic. Very lovely ideas. Very lovely ideas, lovely ones. I must tell you, kudos. You all just did well. I wish I have I can see you to give you a gift for putting that try. So follow me tonight as we look at what's at our topic tonight. Ooh. Okay, so for our topic tonight, team. What team means to a security officer, protocol officer, personal assistant, and other staff? Can we exegete them one by one? T, as a professional, having served in this industry for over 2 decades, I put it to you that in our industry, security, close protection, protocol, help industry, T stands for transparency. Can I get reactions? Transparency. That is what T stands for. Transparency. Show me a protocol officer who is not transparent. Show me a security officer who is not transparent. Show me a personal assistant who lacks transparency. Show me a driver who lacks transparency. Show me a senior special advisor, an aide to the president or to the principal who lacks transparency. For us in our industry, the word T stands for transparency. What did I say? I hope you can all hear me. If you can hear me tonight, you can hear me, right? T stands for what? Transparency. I want someone to keep putting the information on the comment section. What is the meaning of transparency? Transparency means the quality of being easily seen through. The quality of being easily seen through. People can see through you. Now, for example, I always like to use case studies for us to be able to drive what we're saying so that learning can take place. If you take a transparent white cloth, there's a likelihood that you'll be able to see through, or look at a transparent glass. You are going to see through what is inside that particular material, and you will see beyond, you'll see what is behind as well. That is what transparency means. Transparency in security. Transparency. Now, transparency in a business or governance context refers to being open and honest, which is one of the most important qualities of a security officer, of a close protection officer, of a personal assistant, of a protocol officer. Being open and honest. Are you open to correction? Or you frown to correction? You can be corrected. Are you honest? I live in Africa. I live in Nigeria, in Africa. It says people would say, when someone says good morning, does your boss need to open the window to see if it's actually morning? Does your colleague need to open the window to see if it's actually morning? That will tell if you are indeed honest. Transparency in business protocol, in international relations, it means what? It means open and honest. You are open. There's nothing you are hiding. Did you copy that? There's absolutely nothing that you are hiding. You are honest. We can take your word and go to bank. You can tell the principal, I've got it covered, and he can go to bed, knowing fully well that indeed you have gotten it covered. Transparency means being open and honest. It also means that disclosure of all relevant information so that your principal can make informed decision. That's the meaning of transparency. Giving disclosure of all relevant information so that your principal, your colleagues can make what? Informed decision. One of the challenges of protocol is a lot of time, a lot of us don't like, to let people know, especially if you have colleagues that you guys are doing the cat and dog kind of relationship. You don't want them to know what you're thinking. You want to be the first to give the principal that information. You don't want, well, there's a quote I've always lived with, which it's which is one of the things that makes me do what I do. I don't care who takes the credit, so long as the work is done. Even though if I do the work, I don't care who takes the credit as long as the work is done. So you don't keep information that others can benefit from just because you want to be the one that shines from your team. Just because you want the principal, to always say you're the one that always does the right job. Don't keep information. Be transparent. Be open. I have seen a lot of people in this industry that because they were not transparent, they were short sighted and they couldn't last. Transparency also means a process which involves completely visible and you are open to scrutiny your account. You are completely open. You've got nothing to cover. You have not, side-funded the funds of the principal. It's clear there's nothing, you are hiding nothing, absolutely nothing. There's nothing you are hiding. So transparency is so important. If you're going to serve as a protocol officer successfully, if you're going to serve as as an executive close protection officer successfully, it's important for you to be what? Transparent. Transparency is a skill. It's a good attribute of a very good close protection officer, of a very good protocol officer, of a very good security, of a very good driver, of any aide of the principal. You've got to be what? Transparent. Now, let me give us examples of, I've given a couple of examples of transparency earlier. When you hike the price, when you are asked to buy something, do you do that? I'm sure I'm reading some people's mails now. Do you tell people because your principal is building is into construction and you connive with the project manager? You connive with the project manager to add money, to add, to with the contractors, to pad. They call it pad in Africa, in Nigeria. So they have padded the budget. Are you part of those padding the budget of your principal because you want to make more than your salary? You're not being transparent that way. You're not being open that way. And you're not going to go far. Are you adding your cut to a project of your principal? Your principal sent you to even buy as little as toothpaste. You added money to it. Eh? As little as toothpaste, everything your principal sent you to do, to go and buy, to go and get, you add your own cut to it. That's not being transparent. Or your principal sent you on errand and someone, maybe where you went to, the principal's friend gave you some gifts and you got back, you didn't report it to your principal. You're not being transparent. Yeah, you're not being transparent. Oh, there's something in Africa that is going on. I've been to a couple of states in Africa, and I can tell you that it's, I don't know, it's a norm. You don't see this abroad, overseas, in the Western world, where a close protection officer, a security officer, a driver haven't done something for you, they'll be greeting you extra. They are expecting you to drop something. You're not transparent that way. So we can classify transparency into 3 degrees: opaqueness, transparency, and clarity. Now, I must tell you that is it easy for us to be transparent in this industry? Honestly, it's not easy. But if you are to toe the path that it's not easy, sincerely speaking, you're going to be shooting yourself. The Bible says that we will reap what we sow. But the Bible did not say you will reap where you sow. So if you sow dishonesty, you are going to reap dishonesty. If you sow honesty, openness, you are going to reap it. So now we have 2 types of principles or 2 types of leadership. We have the first one is transformational principle. I'm sure a couple of us will know. These transformational principles, they truly want the best out of you. They love you genuinely. They want you to move forward genuinely. They want the very best. They are not trying to cajole you. They're not trying to cajole you. So these two types of principal, we have the transformational principal, who wants the best for you. And we also have the transactional principal. The transactional principal does not want the best for you. Transactional principal wants to use you. They only use you when you are the only one that can get that thing done. They come back, they will not, if they feel probably have you're bold, probably you don't indulge in some things that are not good that they do. You don't indulge in such things, and there are transactional principles. They are likely to not use you regularly, but whenever a particular thing ought to be done and no one else can do it, it's only you. That's when they massage your ego. That's when they draw you close. That's when they give you opportunity. That's when they give you assignments. Those are transactional people. They are not transformational. So, so long as you are useful to them and not useful to yourself, they are fine. Those are transactional principles. Such leaders, they make you lose every sense of your worth. There's nothing that you do that you are good. Those are transactional principles. And I am sure that, as I'm making this presentation tonight, you can bear witness, looking at your principal one by one, to see, my principal, is it transactional or transformational? Transformational, yeah, you are not the best. They correct you. Yeah, they won't indulge you, but they will correct you, right? And they would help you to become better. But that's transformational. Transactional, they don't improve you. They don't improve you. It's all about them. It's not. It doesn't. They don't care if you're moving forward or not. It's all about them. So now, if you have these two types of leaders, should you be transparent to them? Yes, you should. As a protocol, as a security, as a personal assistant, as a driver, as a guard, as a close protection officer, you must keep giving your best, even when your principals are not loyal and faithful back, when they are not loyal and faithful to you. Now, there are two sides to a coin. Loyalty is multidimensional. Loyalty is two sides. If you are loyal to your principal, it's expected for your principal also to be loyal back to you. Now, some principals, some leaders may want to disagree with this, but honestly, that's the honest truth. You are supposed to be loyal to someone and you expect loyalty back. You're supposed to be faithful to someone and you also expect faithfulness back. However, as a protocol officer, as a security officer, as a personal assistant, as a driver, as a guard, as a close protection officer, if you fall into as a confidential secretary, I want to say something extra today. Even if your principal is not transparent with you, be transparent with them. Even when your principal is not faithful to you, be faithful to them. Regardless of which side they belong to. For you, transparency is key and it's so important. Now, can I link transparency with together, that we all know what team is, which is together everyone achieve more? There's no way we can be together if we're not transparent with each other. So in this industry, maybe one of the reasons why you get a job and you don't last is because you lack being transparent. You want to check that out. You lie a lot. You lie. Don't do that any longer. It's so important, that, like I said, if you're serving a transformational principle or you're serving a transactional principle, be transparent with them, regardless of what or who they are to you. You remain transparent. Is that okay? Now let's go further. Like I said earlier, the Bible says you will reap what you sow, not where you sow. So if you say because your principal is transactional, you will be transactional, you are sowing a bad seed and you surely will reap it. But if you sow, if your principal is transactional and you are transformational with your principal, you are transparent with your principal, you are open, you are honest with your principal, it's fine. You don't sow the bad seed. What are the 5 advantages of transparency? Let's look at the 5 advantages, the benefits of transparency. This increased your employee engagement. When you are transparent, your principal, you become the person they can do without, and it will increase your employee engagement. There's, another thing is it enhanced member service. You know, I have a principal, I have a couple of principals that no matter what anybody tells them, they will come back to me and say, Ademola, what do you think? And when I tell them, now most of the times, what I say is quite different from what every other person has said to them. Because most of the times, those every other persons, they are sycophants. They are sycophants to the principal. They don't really have the best interest of the principal at heart. They don't have the interest of the principal at heart. It's their interest they're trying to keep. So such aides, when they advise the principal or whatever, the principal gets back to me and says, Demola, what do you think I should do? And I'll tell the principal, sir, do you want the truth or you want other one? He said, tell me the truth. And I'll tell him, this is what I think it should be done. And most of the time, if he goes to do the other one that they've told him to do, honestly, he burns his fingers, then he comes back and comes to do what I've advised. All because of what? I have made up my mind to be transparent. I have made up my mind to be open. I have made up my mind to be honest at all times. Even when I have to report myself, I will report myself. I won't cover myself. So don't be part of those aides, those protocol officers, those personal assistants that would cover themselves but would expose others. Do you understand? Say it the way it is. Don't lie to your principal. So increased employee engagement, enhanced member service, fewer barriers to innovation. You serve in, you give higher quality. You're a better fit candidate in your recruitment. So these are the qualities, benefit of what's it called, transparency. What are the characteristics of a transparent person, of a transparent protocol officer? The characteristics of a transparent protocol officer, you're going to be reliable. See, you are a resource person, that you're a material that they cannot do without. It's so important. It's so important that the T there means, and it stands for what? Transparency. Now, may I tell you, there's a difference between honesty and transparency. Honesty is when you share what you perceive to be truth. It doesn't mean that is the truth. What you perceive to be truth is honesty. That does not mean that is the truth. So let me give you an example. So okay, I'm trying to come up with a positive example. Now, if you see someone, for example, maybe someone was driving home, and all of a sudden he saw someone on the road, and he pulled over to assist the person. Now, when the police gets to the scene, the police met this young man with this lady. This young man will give his own honest, episode of what happened, which was he saw this lady lying on the floor in a pool of blood, and is pulled over to assist this lady. Well, to the police, that is your truth. That is not the truth. It's a perceived truth. That is your truth. People can rope you in to say you are the one that did that. Do you understand? So honesty is when you share what you perceive to be truth. Transparency is what others sees as the truth. Can you see that? So look at the case study I just gave you now. The young man pulled over to assist a lady that was on the road with pool of blood. The police got to the scene and they saw the young man with the lady. It is his words against the lady. It is his words. Is so whatever. And if the lady now dies, God forbid, if the lady dies, the guys may likely be charged for murder. That's the honest truth. Because who was there to see, that would say, to corroborate this guy's story? So honesty is what you share, is when you share what you perceive to be truth. But transparency is what others see as the truth. So while it is important to be honest, it is not enough because it's not always what people want to know. Do you understand? So it's important for us, to be transparent at all times. So now, as a protocol officer and a security officer and personal assistant, is transparency part of integrity? Yes. There is no true integrity without transparency. There's no true integrity without transparency. I can just go on and on transparency. Let me, because of my time, I'll move to what E is. We have said T. We're looking at the word team, TEAM. And we have seen that as a protocol officer, as a security officer, as a personal assistant, as a driver, as a confidential secretary, the T there, yes, is together. But for us are in this industry, the T there stands for what? Transparency. Now, who knows what E stands for? Quickly, can we move with the speed of light? Who can tell me what E stands for? E, E. What do you think E stands for? Okay, to save our time, I will just go further to tell you what E stands for. E then means eloquence. Eloquence. A good protocol officer is eloquent. What's the meaning of eloquence? Eloquence means you're fluent or persuasive speaking. You're fluent. You can talk, and your talk makes sense. So eloquence is the art or practice of speaking, which is a key, is a skill for protocol officers, for security officers. You must be eloquent. You must be able to talk fluently. Persuasive power. Your talk must have what? Persuasive power. Yes, it requires you to be eloquent. Your talk must have what? Persuasive power. Most of the protocols we deal with these because you get to meet with people. You got to meet with people, and you tell them your principal is not available to be seen, and they're trying to have their way. I was somewhere today. I was somewhere today, and you know there was just this lady that was just disturbing the entire peace of that place. She talks too much, but she's eloquent. She's eloquent. She has persuasive power, speech of power. So for us in team, right? Transparency, E there means eloquence. Eloquence. Because eloquence is a skill, is an important skill of a protocol officer. So eloquence, eloquence. How can I be eloquent? Okay, now let me I want to talk about something before I go further about how can I be eloquent. So eloquence means the art or practice of speaking or writing with fluency. Writing, there's the new government is coming up in Nigeria. Do you know that most of the politicians or those speeches they read out, they don't write it. They're not the one that wrote it. People like you and me are the one that wrote the speech for them. That's why we know there are certain words of Martin Jr. that is gone today, but we can remember them. Nelson Mandela, the great leaders. You can fill in the blanks of great leaders that have come and have gone. A good protocol officer is eloquent. How do you How do you convince someone to buy something if you're not eloquent? How are you able to communicate to your principal if you're not eloquent? How are you able to communicate to your principal? So eloquence is a skill, is a life skill of a protocol officer. Eloquence is a life skill of a security officer. Eloquence is a life skill of a confidential secretary. Eloquence is a life skill even of drivers, of guards. You must be able to speak fluently. You must be able to write fluently. Use the power of words to achieve the results. So this is what eloquence means. T, we have said T is what? Transparency. We have said E then means what? Eloquence. Eloquent means forceful expression. Having or showing clear and forceful expression. That doesn't mean forceful, that doesn't mean you're fighting. Forceful there just means you're firm. You're firm. You're firm. So it's so important as protocol officers, that we are firm, when carrying out our duties. So now, if you look at the general term of what's it called, acronym of team, which is together everyone achieve more. We have said our own is T. There stands for transparency. The general term stands for what? Together. Then E there for our own, and our industry stands for eloquence, because you need to be eloquent for you to be able to serve appropriately as a protocol officer, as a security officer, as a personal assistant, as a confidential secretary, not only in words, but also in writing. And one of the things that will stand you out to be an eloquent speaker, an eloquent protocol officer, is when you stand or sit with spine straight, but you are relaxed. You stand or sit with spine straight, but you are relaxed. You're relaxed. You're not. You're not. You're not. You're not. You're not. What's this word? You're not. You're not feeble. You're not feeble. Not fidgeting everywhere. You keep your chin up. You focus on the listener. Yes. Because as it depends on the level of the principal you're serving. If you're serving the president of the Federal Republic of Nigeria or of a country, for example, you're going to be communicating, you're going to be relating with top government officials. You're going to be relating, writing memos, with cream de la cream of the society. So how do you do that if you're not eloquent? How do you do that? So you stand or sit with spine straight but relaxed. You keep your chin up. You focus on your listeners. You're bold. You're bold. I understand that some principals that are insecure, they don't like bold protocol officers. Well, I don't know why. It's part of the qualities. It's part of you can't if you are timid, you can't be eloquent. If you're timid, you can't be eloquent. In fact, if you're timid, you cannot be excellent. If you're timid, you can never be excellent because you are going to do everything from the point of fear. You're going to talk to your principal from the point of fear. Everything you're going to do is from the point of fear. So eloquence requires what? Boldness. You speak loudly enough to be heard. How many of us can hear me clearly tonight? You can hear me loudly. Can you? I'm not using the microphone. If I have, and I have one, but I'm not using it. But you can hear me. You speak loudly. You're not timid. Do you copy? You're not timid. You speak loudly. Not only that, you buttress words with appropriate gestures. You buttress words with what? Appropriate gestures. You're confident. You're confident. You're confident. You strategically position your body. You don't slack. You stand straight. Your clothes, the gaiters are there. White shirt, tie in alignment. appropriate haircut. All these are things that help your willpower. A protocol officer ought to be smart, not dull. So how smart are you? When you communicate in a slumpy way, it shows that you lack confidence in yourself and your words. You can't make a sentence without stammering. It shows you lack confidence in your words and in yourself. So how then do we believe what you're saying? How do we take what you're saying? Eloquence shows confidence. It shows confidence. You're bold. If you've seen me, I'm bold. I don't fear. Yeah, anything that needs to be done, it must be done. I don't know how it will be done. I must find a way to get it done. That is eloquence. Because eloquence works with courage. Eloquence works with confidence. Do you understand that? So it's so important. Hold your head high. That means you keep your chin up. Hold your head high, not like this, not like this. When you're not vegetable, no, you're not vegetable. Do you understand? You pay attention to what they're saying. So it's so important. You speak loudly. If you're unsure of your volume, ask somebody in the back if they can hear you clearly, like I just did. Do you understand? So you buttress your words with appropriate gestures. Use the power of palm. The power of the palm. I've always told us to use our hands to emphasize key points. Use your hands while you are communicating with people. Do you understand? Right? You watch, ensure your hand move. There must be, it shows confidence. Do you understand? Don't scratching yourself. Don't be scratching yourself, or you don't do that. When you strategically position your body, you add power to your words. When you strategically position your body, you do what? You add power. You add power to your words. Sorry, I'm taking it time. I'm taking it easy tonight so that you can understand what I'm saying. I hope that's fine. When you're sitting at the conference, you sit confident. You're confident. You're not timid. That's eloquence. When it is time for you to talk, you speak clearly, clear terms with power. You use vivid words that everyone understands. Don't, I watched a guy. Is good for you to use all those big, what's it called, words. But for protocol, we don't need those big words, right? Use words that everyone understands. Is that fine for a security officer? Use words that everyone understands. Then you speak at different speeds. It's part of eloquence. You speak at what? Different speeds. Sometimes you don't have to talk. You use pauses. Pause. You just become silent. Silence is golden. Silence isn't just golden, it's also the crowning glory of eloquence. Silence isn't just golden, it's also the crowning eloquence, the crowning glory of eloquence. Do you understand? For example, a slight pause before you're about to say something important to create suspense. You pause because you create suspense. They are eager to hear you. Do you understand? It will make your audience to hang on your every word. So it's so important. Let me just move further. Let me move further to, because of time. So let's look at the good qualities of an eloquent protocol officer. An eloquent protocol officer. Communication. I'll be talking about communication. All those things are listed before us. Are good communication skills. good communication skills. So I want to see us protocol officers. I want to see when I get to see you, see your work. See you with your principal. Don't be fidgeting around your principal. Be bold. Be bold. Be bold. Is that fine? Eloquence helps you. You are effective. Your reasoning about ability is high. Like I said, the power of expression. I'm looking at qualities. Qualities of an eloquent, good protocol of security, personal assistant, aide, driver, guards, close protection officer, confidential secretary. Your organizing ability is superb. Your social adaptability is something else. Your sense of responsibility is high. Your self-confidence, you take initiative. You have the ability to influence the group, your principal. I influence my principals a lot to do the right thing. The speed of making decisions because you are eloquent. That's why it goes with self-confidence. Speed of making decision is high. You're determined. I read a book many years ago, 2003, which says, it said, uh, uh, success is 99% failure. So you're determined. You keep going on. Your liveliness, your courage, you have stamina. How many of us have stamina? In a short while, you are falling like a vegetable. You must have stamina. Those are good qualities of a protocol officer, of a security officer, of a personal assistant, of a confidential secretary, of a driver, of a guard, of everyone. Now let's quickly jump to A. We have said T stands for what? Transparency. E stands for what? Eloquence. The A there stands for attitude. A lot of times, a lot of us have bad attitude. Most of protocol officers, most of security officers, most of personal assistants, most of secretaries, most of close protection officers, sincerely speaking, have bad attitude. Bad attitude. You talk to people anyhow, you push people off the road anyhow, you know, you block people from seeing your principal without the principal giving you directive to do so. Even when the principal wants to see them, you say no, you are not going to see anybody. The principal says, I want to see people. You say no, no, I'm not seeing anyone. Oh God. Oga means boss. For those of us watching outside Africa, that's a bad attitude. Attitude is like smoke. Attitude is like smoke. That's a bad attitude. So you and I, every one of us, we have to always work on our attitude. In psychology, an attitude refers to a set of emotions, beliefs, and behaviors toward a particular object, person, thing, or event. I'll take that again. Psychology says attitude refers to a set of emotions, beliefs, and behaviors towards a particular object, person, thing, or event. In a nutshell, what we're trying to say is that the attitude you have formed today is as a result of your emotions or as a result of your belief or the behaviors others have towards you makes us to form good or bad attitude. Another one says attitudes are often the result of experience or upbringing. You and I must always have a very good attitude. Even when your principal doesn't want to use you, have a good attitude about it. Don't suck lemon. Be excited. Be excited. Be confident. Yeah. So it's important, we pay attention to this. Attitude means the way you think, and feel about someone or something. That's the meaning of attitude, according to the dictionary. The way you think and feel about someone or something. A lot of times we have allowed people to determine the kind of attitude we have, or we exhibit, or we show, which is not right as protocol officers, as personal assistants. Don't let people turn you to who you are not. I don't know if can you hear me? Don't let people turn you to who you are not. You're a golden person. You are an extraordinary person. Where did you get that bad attitude from? Of keeping malice or fighting? Yeah, your colleagues, they lie about you. Yeah, they want to be the one that's, they're sycophants. Yes, it's okay for them to be sycophants. You don't have to. And that should not determine you to begin to, exhibit wrong attitude. One of the major problems of protocol of security officers is what? Attitude. All over the world, this is a challenge all over the world. I've seen close protection officers, I've worked with them outside this country, in Europe, I've worked with them in Asia, I've worked with them in Africa. I've seen a couple of them in the United States, in Canada, in Russia, in Israel, you know, and all of those places, well, sincerely speaking, carrying a bad energy. Don't let people determine how you react. Be you, be yourself, and have a good attitude. You can control your emotions. You can change your belief system. Yeah, if they've told you a lie, realize it and change it. You can control your attitude. You can work on your emotions. Change your behaviors towards people. Oh, they hate you, love them, pray for them. That doesn't mean you should be their friend. I have a lot of them like that. I don't keep them as my friend, but I pray for them. And I do well, I do good back to them. Even though it's do evil, it's fine. It's their level of reasoning. I'm not going to bring myself low because of them. They are not worth it. They won't determine how I behave. So T stands for, we're looking at the word team tonight. In the general world, a team stands for together everyone achieves more. In a business school, they'll tell you in all of this, you know. But for us as professional security officers, professional protocol officers, professional public relation officers, professional public diplomats, it's important we know that our team, the T there stands for transparency, the E there stands for eloquence, the A there stands for what? Attitude. Attitude. And okay, before I go further to the last one, which is M, let me give you four basic types of attitude I discovered. There are positive attitude, there are negative attitude, there are neutral attitude, and there's something we call skin attitude, SKKEN. You know, the best of them is have a positive attitude. Negative attitude is what you should avoid. Neutral, you're neither hot nor cold. So it's important, please we pay attention to this. Pay attention on your ego. Pay attention on your ego. And sure, don't be carried away. I stumbled into something, from Professor PLO Lumumba. So, he said something. He said the best time to quit dancing is when they are cheering you. When they are cheering you the most is the best time to quit dancing. It's very true. That's the best time to quit. So in while you are carrying out your duties. Do you understand? Pay attention to times and seasons. It's so important. Okay, lastly tonight, let's look at. Okay, so I have a question for you. Is anger an attitude? Mhm. Anger is an attitude, which is a very bad attitude. So we should pay attention to that. Protocol naturally comes with bad attitude. You know that when you are driving, have you been inside a pilot vehicle before? You are suddenly proud. If you don't checkmate protocol, protocol can make you to have a bad attitude. If you don't checkmate security, being because you're a security officer, hey, because you're a security, you can have a bad attitude. Honestly, you're the confidential secretary, you can have a bad attitude. You have to checkmate it. It's so important, for every one of us, serving in this help industry. I said here, protocol, security, personal assistant, confidential secretary, naturally comes with bad attitude. And when you can control your emotions, you have become more than an average protocol officer. The moment you can control your emotions, you have become more than an average security officer. The moment you can control your emotions, you have become more than an average confidential secretary. The moment you can control your emotions. So I said here, protocol naturally comes with bad attitude. And when you can control your emotions, you have become more than an average protocol officer, security officer, personal assistant, senior special assistant, aide to any principal or the president. This is so true. I'm talking from experience as well. I'm talking from experience as well. So I'll go further quickly. I will just go over the slides and go to the last one, which is M. Okay, let me just give you 3 ways you can change your attitude. Always act with a purpose. Always what? Act with a purpose. Don't let people control you. Act with a purpose. Before you take any action, decide how it will serve your greater goals. Decide before you take an action. How will your principal be excited about it? Will you represent your principal well? Don't forget you're an ambassador, you are an image maker, image shaper, image brother, right? So you have to act with what? A purpose. Act with a purpose. That will help you to checkmate exhibiting bad attitude. Number 2, stretch yourself past your limits. Stretch yourself past your limits. Doing the same old is depressing. So stretch yourself. Success is like athletics. If you don't stretch yourself every day, you gradually become slow and brittle. How do I have a good attitude? Take actions without expecting result or appreciation. Take While you naturally must take decisions and take action based upon your result you like to achieve. Someone says it's a big mistake to expect those results and then be disappointed when you don't get them. Oh, I'm not, why do we call some people psychophants? They will not do that thing until when the boss is outside to see them and they start to do it. But when the boss goes back inside, they stop to do it. They are psychophants. Whether the boss sees you or not, as a protocol officer, as a security officer, as a personal assistant, as a confidential secretary, take actions without expecting results, without expecting accolades. Thank you for that. Take action. Don't expect accolades. I have done the best and the greatest things. And do you know what? There was a particular principal, he never gives me accolade. but gives every other person accolades. But for me, he will never give accolades. In fact, many things I did, he would say somebody else did it. It's fine. It's okay. Don't forget what I said earlier. The Bible says you will reap what you sow. The Bible did not say you will reap where you sow. That's my mantra. It's my mantra. I will sow a good seed, regardless of you. I will sow a good seed. You don't need to tell me to. I won't use you to put a lead on my life. No, I won't use you. I won't let you let me put a lead on my destiny. No, I will never. I'll never. I've set a particular protocol like that. There's most of the things I did. It the person said somebody else did them. It's fine. And I smile, I'm excited about it. It's okay. It's fine. Do you understand? So take actions without expecting accolades. Take actions without expecting accolades. Okay, I'll just take 2 minutes for us to round off tonight. And M, T stands for what? Um, Transparency. E there stands for what? Eloquence. A stands for what? Attitude. And the last one, M, stands for mastery. 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 What is mastery? Having a comprehensive knowledge or skill in a particular subject or activity. How knowledgeable are you in protocol that you're doing? How knowledgeable are you in security that you're offering? How knowledgeable are you in being a personal assistant? How knowledgeable are you to be a confidential secretary? How knowledgeable are you in close protection, in executive protection, in hostile environment, close protection? How knowledgeable are you in all of this? Mastery. It's so important for us as protocol officer because you ought to, you should, you must have a what? Comprehensive knowledge of what you are saying you are doing. You must have what? Comprehensive knowledge of what you are offering. You know, one of my master mentors, Fela Dotoye, would say, when you do something for 10 years, you become an authority in it. I have done this for over 2 decades. I have done this for over 2 decades. So by training, I've done trainings. I mean, not that I conducted training. I have gone for trainings home and abroad. I experienced. You can't compare someone who has done something for 22 years with someone doing something for 5 years. There's a wide gulf because my experience is not your experience. Do you understand? So we must build mastery. We must build what? Mastery in what we are doing. Mastery makes you to have superiority over someone or something. I can talk today because of what? I have mastery on what I'm talking about. I've mastered it. I'm an authority in this industry, in this field. And I can talk. I don't need a slide to do presentation. If I share my experience alone with you, my experience alone is a curriculum. My experience alone is like curriculum of more than 50 trainings. If I share that alone with you, I was having a training with someone last week. And all this person, he listened to. I told him to listen to. I made him to listen to the 50 blunders, 50 blunders that protocol security officers make, 50 blunders that personal assistants make, and the remedies. And when he was done, he said, "I said, so what did you learn?" He said, "Sir, Even if he said this alone can take me for years. That's the honest truth. We must build mastery in what we are doing. It's so important. Don't do it by the surface. Dig deeper. Dig deeper. So mastery means possession or display of great skill or technique. Possession or display of what? Great skill or technique. Because of time, I'm going to be stopping here. There's no way I can um, finish this and this presentation tonight because we have overshot 1 hour already. Wow! I am so sure you've learned a lot tonight on team, the teamwork of a protocol officer, of a security officer, of a personal assistant, of a confidential secretary, of a close protection officer. And we have said, generally, it is known that team stands for together, everyone achieves more. But for us in our industry, we need to go beyond that. And what I've shared with you tonight is a work of 23 years of this industry. 23 years of serving dignitaries locally and internationally, serving religious organizations, we have serving international organizations, international not-for-profit organizations, serving in government in different capacities is what I've brought to you tonight. And I've shared the word team, which T stands for transparency, E stands for eloquence, A stands for attitude, and M stands for mastery. I challenge you tonight not to only say, wow, interesting, thank you so much, but to make use of what you've learned tonight and also share it with others. So I would like to ask you for something. Share this information, share this particular slide, particular masterclass with many as you can. Come together and watch them on my YouTube. When you build others, will reduce the number of those that are mediocres in our industry. And that's one of the reasons why I would come out, to do this kind of training, with us. I want to thank you for joining me tonight. It's been a nice time being with you. I want to appreciate everyone. I appreciate everyone. I may not be able to mention all the names. Permit me, Mr. Philip Ayene, thank you so much. Miss Chiaka Dili Okonkwo, thank you so much. Miss Adebola Oluwakemi, thank you so much. Mr. Isaiah Samuel Nana, thank you so much. Wow, celebrate you greatly. Sir, Mr. Precious Oyetayo, thank you so much, sir. You mean a great deal for me, sir. Thank you for joining tonight. So grateful. Erase Ogenevwede, thank you for joining. Everyone that I can see, and I've tried to mention your names. Mr. Michael Zoma, thank you so much. Yes, Mr. Minebas Sebofa, thank you so much. So I want you to do a review send us reviews on our Instagram post, on this post, on our YouTube post. Send reviews of this kind of training. Should we stop? Should we continue? How is it? What is it doing for you? Thank you so much for tonight. On this, at this point, I'm going to draw the curtain and I'll say thank you. So come back and listen to this over and over again. I appreciate you and keep representing well in this industry. Have a good evening. Thank you.